Oh, they're on us. There's a bunch of them. Trevor, you see him?
I'm counting 6, Cleo. I'm getting that gun turret. Fire back at them.
Oh, hold on. Oh, jeez.
Trevor, what are we going to do in this situation? They are gaining on us.
I'm taking us through the wall.
What do you mean taking us through the wall, Trevor?
wall?
I said they're gaining on us, not kill us and fly us into a bleeding wall.
I don't want to be flat.
Look, you see that ahead? Like,
Yes, I see the big wall, Trevor. That isn't the issue. The issue is the ships following us behind.
look, these Terrans fly like they've got sticks up their bottoms. They're not going to make it through the shattered wall. I can
Neither
do it.
are we, Trevor.
Look, you got to trust me, Ze. I've done this before.
How many times have you done this before?
Look, the shield's going to hold up. Cleo, they're firing on us.
Well, I'm giving it back.
Well,
I'm trying.
2.5 times.
2.5 times, Trevor. What
What
do you
was
mean
that?
2.5 times?
Someone helped me the first time.
Well,
Look,
What?
Trevor is confident that he can get us through this wall. Reese.
Oh, hell.
I must express some concern at our current course. Oh, we're taking fire from behind.
I don't
And the
know
shields.
whether to wind my
The
ass
shields
or
may not
scratch my
hold long
wall.
against this asteroid onslaught. Are you sure you know what you're doing, Trevor?
He knows. Look at
yes,
him.
shut up. Like, I could really do with a bit less backseat driving.
Backseat
Cleo,
driving.
you
The only backseat driving
just
that's
got-
happening is bloody lasers being fired at us, Trevor.
Okay, yes, but if you
They're
can, if you
driving
can
us.
get them off us, we need the shields to make it through the wall. The shields are a big part of the journey.
I'm trying. I'm busy as a fart in a colander back here.
All right, let me try something. Just hold on to your seats. Strap in if you can. And
What was that?
Reese, just, I'm sorry in advance.
What'd he say, Z?
He said
See?
strap in. Time to strap on.
All right, here I go. This is a little bit risky, but I'm punching it.
Hell. Oh, no. Oh. What?
Oh, dear.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Oh, I just said the word episode. I didn't even try and do anything fancy. Of the Backwater Bastards in space.
In space.
Brilliant. I'm your dungeon master, Dirk Dynamite. To my right here, that's Taylor, aka Cleo.
I'll be your human bear this evening, thank you.
And off on my left there, that's Mr. Daniel Matthews, a.k.a. Dr. Z.
Yes, and I will be your human jellyfish and a honey boy. Jelly boy.
Trademark.
It's a honey boy.
Honey boy.
Honeyfish.
And welcome back, guys. It's just the two of you
Yes,
today
it
because
is.
Herodotus, of course, has got a kingdom to mind.
Oh, so get used to it.
And
'Cause
we're unemployed, so we can be here. We don't have any real job or
we don't have
any
space jobs.
We don't have any real responsibilities yet. I mean, I guess we got to feed Jordan.
Jordan is going to be top
true.
priority now.
That's about it.
Cleaning the rover.
Oh, right.
Well, there's the two of you rocking around on the Grey Dragon, which is, of course, inhabited by the artificial intelligence called Reese.
Yes.
Stowed up out back, you've got Dr. Z's ship,
The fishbowl.
the fishbowl.
We definitely have that.
Yeah, you got that. You've got Cleo's rover, which
Cool.
is a cherry red hot rod of a thing.
Cool.
You've also got the sort of the
Yes.
kind of trashmobile that belongs to Boris. Speaking of Boris, you've got Boris.
Yes.
The new Terran driver / salvager just come along for the ride, but mainly because he's completely enamored by the vintage StarCraft that you're piloting.
Well, and pretty good friends with us as well. You know, it's not Boris likes us. We like Boris.
And at least for the meantime, you also have Trevor, the Zarg pilot.
forever.
Trevor forever.
He's going to play an important part in your immediate future.
Uh-oh.
All right, so let me paint you a little picture with words here. The Shattered Wall, the remnants of a myriad of space stations erected by the New Terrans centuries ago. The stations had the job of providing a fully encasing wall against the Wraith territories. They produced energy fields between them. Of course, the Wraiths, before the wall was finished and constructed, before all the energy fields were up, the Wraiths just came in with a fleet of bombers and blew the thing up.
Oh.
This was centuries ago. The Terrans have not tried to rebuild the wall, but the shattered remnants of the wall actually does a pretty good job at keeping Wraiths and Terrans from crossing over into one another's space. Because it is immense. It is light years long, light years tall, and pretty darn wide as well. It's as wide as as a decent sized star.
Oh, damn. That's quite wide.
It's quite wide, and it's essentially impenetrable in the average StarCraft because of just the amount of damage you will take from getting pummeled by these giant meteorite fragments that just swirl around. They have their own tides and shifts and orbits. There are currents through them, and any ship that goes through them is just going to be knocked about for a few minutes, and then their shields will be gone, and then they will explode and become part of the shattered
Good.
wall.
Excellent.
But the good news is
We picked
that
a great way to go.
certain daring pilots from First Snare and Zarg Moon are able to pilot their way through the shattered wall, and Trevor is one such pilot.
Well,
and
so he says.
with immense skill and with that insider knowledge, Trevor just needs to get the 6 Terran ships off your back to keep enough shields to stand the buffeting on the way.
Oh.
And he's pulling off a risky maneuver, flying directly at a moon-sized asteroid.
Oh, cool.
And I'm gonna roll.
Oh,
Roll them dice. Here we go. First roll of the season.
Oh, it's an 8.
Oh, damn it.
were you,
Okay, not great.
Were
Not
you
great
rolling
at
as
all.
Trevor or a bad guy?
I'm rolling for Trevor.
Great. Cool. Good to know.
Trevor flies directly at this moon-sized asteroid and pulling up at the last minute, attempting to get into a slingshot around in its orbit, pull away faster than he normally could. There's one of these fancy Zarg maneuvers. He kind of half succeeds, but he essentially flies, pulls up, and scrapes the shields of the Grey Dragon across the surface of this moon.
Oh, man.
Oh, bloody hell, Trevor. I hope your flying improves. This is not a great way to start.
Taking 13 points of damage to the Grey Dragon's shields.
Whoa. Well, that's a whole
Ouchies.
chunk of the paint job gone.
yeah.
It's alright, it's only the shields at this point. The good news is, the majority of the enemy ships following don't even want to, come near this shit. They're already, driving into the shattered wall, getting pummeled by asteroids left, right, and center. They see Trevor doing the suicide dive into one of the big ones. Most of them don't even try, but 2 of the braver ones come in, flying, for all their worth, trying to catch up.
Oh,
I've rolled 1 natural 1 and 1 5.
goodbye.
Both ships are coming in hot, trying to pull up. One of them is starting to pull up. It looks like he's going to do similar to Trevor. He's going to he's going to scrape the shields on the moon, but unfortunately, the other one just tries to do a barrel roll for some reason, and just sort of comes in, taking out the fellow ship. There's just carnage as both ships splat into the asteroid. As you pull up and sort of scrape away, 2 of these ships just splat and explode on the asteroid behind you. As Trevor manages to pull off the slingshot maneuver, getting around to the far side of the large asteroid, and then shooting off into the shattered wall, hidden from the eyes of the New Terrans.
Bloody did it, Trevor.
Oh, that wasn't what I was intending. What are our shields looking at? 50%?
Well,
What were you intending then?
I mean,
you
we ain't
got us
dead.
through. Yes.
Yes, well, the thing is, no matter how well I fly, we're going to keep taking damage to the shields. And, I don't know how else to put this. Once the shields are gone, so are we, if we're in the middle of the wall.
Oh, yes. No, you could have put that in a much better way.
Well, at least we're not taking fire anymore, but...
And then you can see there's just large asteroids sort of banging from all sides. You're sort of wobbling about. Reese is in the background going, making all these whimpers. You know, he's very protective. He's very worried that his paint job is going to get utterly decimated.
Boris, where the bloody hell is Boris? Boris!
Oh, sorry, I fell off my chair. Just back here.
How's done, Boris? I told you to tape yourself down, boy. What are you doing back there? Hell.
But I was halfway to taping myself, Cleo.
Now you know what, dude. Like I told you, you gotta avoid the hair. You got
I
that?
don't have quite as much as you.
Well, it's debatable. You seen yourself, boy?
Now, Boris, we're going to, as Trevor has just informed us, we're about to take quite a few hits to the shields. Is there anything we can do to rig up some extra shield capabilities from the junk that, well, not junk, the treasures that you and Cleo have found, or anything else in the cargo bay?
Oh,
Could we redirect the power from the fishbowl, for
I
example?
can recharge them if I can get to the outside of the...
And he sort of looking out the window and sort of seeing all these asteroids pummeling the ship from all angles. It's like,
From outside? Ugh.
Right.
He wants
Trevor,
to go
is there
outside.
any way that you can get me somewhere with a moment of respite?
and Trevor is like sort of, you know, like gritting his teeth, and trying to dodge. He's flying expertly. He's dodging a lot of the bigger asteroids, but still, you're getting smacked by these, you know, like kind of car-sized chunks of rock from all sides, getting buffeted about. And Trevor's like, "One moment, I think I've got an idea. All right, you see that there?" And he's pointing. And as you're in this turbulent thing, like just a lot of light being refracted around. There's just big chunks. I mean, it looks like rock, but a lot of this is like, you know, like very strong shielding alloys, which is why it's lasted all these years, because these space stations were made out of very, very dense, rare metals. There was almost like these worm-like constructs that you see, almost like glowing, waving, moving currents through the wall. And on sort of, if you look a little bit closer, you can realize that these things, they're basically like these slipstreams of just shrapnel of the really tiny pieces of asteroid.
Okay. Yeah.
Because all the smaller parts end up sort of just getting whisked into the orbits of the larger ones and just shot through the wall at sort of crazy speeds and wailing about. And Trevor is directing you directly into the nearest one.
Now, Trevor, are you sure about this? That does look almost as terrifying as the wall itself.
Z, it's exactly how you get through here. It's an old trick that my teacher taught me. And, well, you know, it hasn't failed me yet.
Yes, the whole 2.5 times. Right.
It's closer to 3. 2 2/3.
Straight through them bullets.
Well, yes, about that. We're still going to be taking damage while we're in there, but
the good
well,
kind.
it does get us a lot quicker, and there is a kind of calm spot right in the middle.
Right.
So,
Boris, you're going to be ready for that calm spot then. We're going to need to get this ship repaired for what Trevor describes as a light buffering.
Yes, I'll get my tools together.
And Boris sort of plops up. He's staggering around because you've got a lot of, like, you're just getting bashed about. And he's got that sort of, that Captain Kirk walking through the hallways kind of thing where he's like bumping and getting through the door as he rushes off out back to assemble his goodies. Amazing. And Trevor's like, "Here goes," and just pilots you into the slipstream. And immediately, like, the smashing about kind of stops as suddenly you pick up speed. You're traveling now with, turned off the thrusters, and you're traveling now purely through the speed of these various flows and orbital powers where you're just getting sucked through by the rotations and pulls of the larger asteroids. And you shoot off faster than the Grey Dragon's usual speed.
Oh, what's the Grey Dragon?
And no
what does
longer-
Reese think of this?
Currents,
Reese
baby.
is just going as you are now almost vibrating and spinning around.
Wow.
You can't make heads or tails of it. There's no real up or down. Like the whole ship is kind of, because you're not traveling by your thrusters, you're kind of somersaulting through. There's no up or down. Like the only way you can really make sense of what's happening is by just completely ignoring what's outside the window and just looking at the more sort of basic radar information of your relative location on the galaxy map.
Okay.
And Trevor's like, "Okay, well, we're losing shields by the moment, but, well, as long as we survive to the calm spot, I think we'll be fine. Well, and as long as Boris can actually recharge our shields,
Right.
we'll be fine. And as long as I successfully pilot us out the other end.
And as long as I ain't sick in this chair.
Are you doing all right there, Cleo?
I'm trying.
Can I take some of my honey boy body and like cut off a little bit and put it on Cleo's feet to make some kind of like stabilizing shoes to stop the vibrations from affecting Cleo too much?
I was like, are you going to put that thing on my head so that if I throw up, it's trapped?
I was first thinking I'd like envelop you and like stop you from shaking too much and just be like, it's stable inside.
Just some little shockproof booties.
It's also silly. We don't need to
And
do
then
it.
I was like, is he thinking that if my feet are cold, I'll feel better? And then I was like, would that work?
No,
Is that real?
I don't
Is
even
that a
know if
secret?
shockproof booties would work. I was just thinking, like maybe it might help you feel a little bit more
I think
stable.
it's a good idea, though.
Yeah,
That sounds like a thing.
yeah.
That's German engineering.
Cleo, quickly,
BMW.
put my sleeves on.
And I drop drop 2 globs off my arms of Honey Boy onto the ground, and they just shake on the ground for Cleo to step into.
Oh, Jello.
Jello.
It's live. I just wanted to say that.
And you can see Trevor he's white knuckled, holding on to the controls. There's sweat on his brow.
Oh my God, this is a Trevor moment.
As he's looking at the planetary map or the galaxy map, and he's sort of working out approximately where you are, because he's going to have to shoot out of this thing at the right moment.
Well, they might kill us.
Trevor,
So what was he?
how can we help? I mean, we're here. We're two very masterful characters.
Oh, Z, you're windy as a sack of farts. You need anything, baby?
Yes.
Can you just keep an eye on the shields? What? Just keep an eye on the shields. Don't tell me how much we've got left until
We got
we
loads.
have very little left.
Right. We got this.
You ain't got to worry about it. We got loads back here. I'm looking at
Okay, it's probably best that I don't know until I need to know.
All
Yeah,
right.
well, you don't even need.
You don't need to know right
Z,
now.
Z,
Cleo, I think we're gonna need to go get started on this immediately.
I'm lying.
Yes, I know, Cleo.
You think he knows?
No.
He can't
No,
tell.
he can't
He
tell.
can't tell.
No, it's fine.
But I am lying.
Yes.
I'm lying like more than ever.
More than usual. Yes.
If my lips is moving.
Yeah. Well,
I'm lying.
I think the vibrations
Anyway.
of the ship. It's hiding the trembling lip that you've got. But we should probably go make a start.
So over the course of just sort of shooting through this tunnel of asteroids, you've taken a further 3 points of damage to your shield.
Nothing to worry about, Trevor.
Now sitting at 14, a little under half.
I think we're doing
Do a
better.
thumbs up with my shorter arms.
It actually went back up.
I've got
Did you
now
plug the charger in?
T-Rex style arms. I'm just doing a thumbs up.
You're doing great, Trevor.
And you see there's these moments where Trevor, he's wincing, closing his eyes, and then a motion where he's just flicking on the engines and then off again, just to correct your path a little bit. As when you were getting very close to the thin outside edges of the slipstream, you're almost going to be catapulted or perhaps sucked into the orbit of one of the larger pieces.
I don't know much about piloting, Cleo, but I believe this is called edging. Let's go to the...
I'm glad that you said it because I was thinking it and I was like, don't be the one to make this a sex thing. Don't be the one to make this, to make it about banging.
But it is.
But as Trevor is just keeping just by the edges of this,
You didn't want to say that. You didn't want to say that.
The slipstream of stone. The ship is taking a further 5 points. of
Bloody hell.
damage.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
it
Cleo,
does.
I'm on my way.
And I'll make a race towards the cargo hold or the engineering bay to help Boris and start fixing up some shields.
I'm trying to get Boris into a spacesuit right now. But you ever seen somebody dress a kid?
So Cleo's got the spacesuit, and Boris has got both his hands busily just shoving things into his little truck.
Get your arm in there,
Or at
Boris.
the meantime,
Boris.
Cleo's he's got his legs in. Cleo, you holding the legs out, and Boris just steps both legs into one leg of the spacesuit, and then
What's
you've
wrong
got
with you? Ain't you ever put pants on before? Who helps you?
I need to plug this.
and he's plugging things together. It's just trash as well. Like it's just trash and sort of functioning batteries and cables that he's clipping together and
trash.
plugging together. As Cleo has to sort of like
That's
like
what you think.
scoop up with one bare claw, sort of scoop Boris's left leg out of the right leg of the suit and get him back in place correctly. Meanwhile,
If you don't put
Boris
this on
just
right, you
starts
can't pee in here. You understand that?
Handing piles of heavy ordnance to Dr. Z, saying,
Just put it in the back.
Yes, in the back. All right, on it.
In the back of what? You ain't got a backpack out there, boy.
At the back of his space truck?
yeah, his back of his space truck.
Yeah.
He's taking the truck out there?
He's got a lot of things to take.
Oh, this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a whole mess.
Of course.
Is he going alone?
Well, I don't know.
Dick's pausing.
That might be a
that means we have
that might be a conversation to have in character.
Shit. Oh my god.
But anyway, as you guys are getting this all together, loading Boris' stuff out, getting Boris into a spacesuit, I guess Cleo needs to might want to get into one too if she's even thinking of going out there.
I don't know.
Meanwhile,
I'm
the
thinking about
shields have taken another 5 points of damage.
Oh my god. Okay. Whoa. It's starting to get worse.
Yeah. Reese.
You're sitting at 4 points.
We've got 4. Cleo.
Left?
Boris. We need to keep our.
Hold on.
We've got 4 points of shield left.
Left. Oh no. But we just took like 2 5-point hits in a row and we don't even have enough points left to do a hit. Okay. Boris.
Yes, Cleo. Yes, Cleo.
Now listen. What do you need? Do you know?
Yes, I think that's everything now.
You got everything? You got your tools?
Let's get right by the door. Hang on.
And he's waddling in this spacesuit. You can see that you've got one that's too big for him. He's flopping about in the thing.
Uh-oh.
But it's all sealed up as far as you
Right.
can tell. He
Okay,
flops his way
great.
into the driver's seat and starts backing his little space truck right up to the ramp at the back. He's really like,
Doctor, as soon as Trevor says it's okay, you just need to push the button and open this airlock, and I'll act as quickly as I can.
Boris, do you need us out there with you?
Boris, do you need help?
Yes, that might be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yes. I didn't
He's
want
so-
to ask, but
Yeah, well, you really probably should, because we're all about to die. So. I mean, god damn, he's so dumb he could throw himself on the ground and miss.
Trevor's voice comes over the intercom like,
Well, thank goodness we've still got plenty of shields left. Right, guys?
Yes, we've got plenty of shields left,
Yeah,
Trevor.
yeah, Trevor.
All right.
Well, like 38.
You're all going to want to hang on again because we're... Just hang on. Just hang on. And, well, it's it's been a real pleasure working with you all.
Okay.
Well, no, let's not do that. Don't worry. Don't
All
worry
right.
at all. Here we go.
Okay, Trevor, you're doing it.
Trevor, we
But
are
wait,
not
see, you
worried.
think we should have told him that we got 4% left, or like maybe
No,
not?
he said he wanted to know when it was really bad.
All right, well, let me get my suit up, because, I mean, look at Boris. We ain't, if he's the only one responsible for if we live or die.
While you two
know,
are out
just
there,
don't-
I'm going to jump in the guns and try to help keep rocks off you.
And I'll slide my way down into the gun turret.
Hell.
that's a good idea. So I've rolled a 16 on Trevor's piloting.
Yes!
Oh.
Thankfully.
Okay.
What does it all
And there is a
mean,
moment.
Basil?
Where suddenly everything's sort of flying around, like things are falling off the shelves. This is nuts. And you're also like losing balance and stuff. Boris at least has strapped himself into his little truck, but the truck even wobbles on its wheels. It's quite good suspension because he souped
He
up the
needs it.
suspension. Yeah, he overloads this thing on a daily basis.
That's called knowing your weaknesses.
And Trevor has fired off at full speed right on the corner as there's like a sort of turning, looping corner of the slipstream and burst out of it.
Oh, damn.
And all of a sudden, like, all the shaking, all the vibrating, all the flipping about ends as it almost feels, there's this sudden relief as though you're just floating in space normally, which doesn't last long before you can feel as though you're struck again by a larger asteroid.
Oh, man, come on.
But I was really hoping that moment was going to last a little bit longer.
Boy, oh boy.
I was like, great, here's our moment to recharge. No.
I hope you got a taste of that before the waiter took it back.
But Trevor's voice comes back over the intercom.
now, Boris, now.
All right.
Boom. Push the button to open up the thing for Boris.
I'm
The airlock
coming
opens
too.
up. Boris and Cleo in the truck, sort of already sitting on the ramp as it descends. And Cleo, you can see now, and actually through the airlock, Dr. Z can even see that you've actually landed on a large asteroid.
Oh!
Trevor, you
Trevor
sneaky
forever.
bugger. Excellent landing.
Oh, stick it. Damn.
And it's from this vantage point, because you didn't see the approach, you can't really tell how big this thing is. It's got a horizon, like it's
Right.
That's enough.
it's biggish.
Right.
yeah?
If it's got its own horizon.
Trevor,
it's
you've
big
got
enough.
tons of shields left, and I'm going to jump in the guns. Please call targets. Let's keep our crew safe out there.
Woohoo! Look at all them shields.
I was hoping you might say that, Z. All right. Oh, all right. I guess I can safely look. Oh, wait, we really don't have many shields left.
Nope. Not at all.
Trevor looking a little bit ill as it suddenly dawns on him how close you were cutting it.
Trevor, you asked us to do a thing for you, and we did it. I hope you appreciate it.
He's got like a real a sickened panic look in his eyes. One eyelid sort of twitching as he just sort of grips the controls again. Meanwhile,
One of those days.
Cleo, you've got a real bumpy ride.
Cool.
As you can see, there's a great big, there's like a control panel that's just sort of like, almost looks like it's just been welded into onto one side. It's sort of between you and Boris in the middle of his truck thing. And he's just like yanking down this big, really sort of, like jagged, like it's like a gear stick, but the top's been screwed off, so it's just got like, the little screw end of the gear stick. It's a little bit DIY, but he's yanking this lever down, and there's a ka-chunk. As it seems, he has enabled some kind of a personal gravity field onto his own onto his truck,
Boris.
which then starts ka-chunking. The wheels don't turn quite as well as they do when operating under actual gravity, as the truck sort of just starts lunging and lumping its way out and around the Grey Dragon.
Wow.
Okay. Boris, this is a hell of a ride.
Yes! And Boris sort of looks up with a sudden panic look, as it looks as though suddenly like a sort of flurry of meteorites are coming to impact with this larger one.
Oh, I'm going to radio
Yeah.
in. I'm going to radio in on my little watch.
Yes.
Right now.
Yep.
Is this thing on?
Yes. Yes, clear.
Hey.
Yes, clear.
Hey, Z,
Yes, this is me,
Z.
Dr. Z. I'm in the gun turret.
listen, like 3:30 o'clock.
Right, yes. Alright, I'll go to rotate
You got-
3.5.
Yeah, like 3:30 clocks. You seen that?
Yes!
So Z can sort of look around and see where Boris is driving, and yeah, there's meteorites coming in. Like, it's hard to say if they're actually going to hit them, but they are.
They're
There's
there.
definitely a distinct risk of it.
I'm on it.
There's a little.
Don't worry.
Can you get them?
Yes, I got them.
Oh,
I'll lean back. Can I do a quick perception first to try and
Yeah, for sure.
call targets to myself? Damn it! It's an 8.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Hey, you know what? Maybe I should roll a d20 as well, just to see like if I'm in range, with my blaster.
It's a 10. So, Dr. Z, there's not a lot you can tell. It looks as though the one that's sort of sailing in closer to them, which is larger and sort of seems to be carrying the other asteroids in its wake, that looks like the real danger. That looks like something that is heading definitely in the direction of Boris and Cleo.
Okay.
Cleo, you could very easily just leap out the door, as long as you're hanging on to something, because you don't have your own artificial gravity. As long as you're hanging on to something, because this thing, it's
Okay,
not
cool.
that big.
Got it.
really doesn't have a heck of a lot of like grip on you. You can feel yourself like wobbling about already now that you're out of the Grey Dragon. You're sort of wobbling in your seat because the gravitational pull, it's not really enough to keep you on here
Right.
if you jumped or stepped too hard.
Okay. Cool.
But you could very easily take pot shots at this thing as well.
All right. Do you want to go first, Z?
Yeah, sure. I'll load up the Grey Dragon blaster and take a shot at what I perceive to be the center of these rocks. Oh fuck!
Oh
Oh my god! It's a natural one.
Hey, everybody out there listening, do you smell that? Yeah. That's a nat 1.
It's a nat 1. Oh.
But at 15 damage, however that works, that's 15 imaginary damage is what that is.
That's
Oh,
2
that
natural
sucks.
6s, but a nat 1. Oh, bugger.
It's like, hey, if he did get anything else, he could have hit real
if
big.
you could have done this, it was going to be really great, but it's
It
not.
was going to be cool and neat.
So
but
let's roll a little
Roll a
D100.
100, yeah.
You want to do it? You want to do the honors, or
Yeah,
shall I
yeah, I
take
got
over it?
you sure you wanna do it?
62.
It's 62% bad.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Cool.
Cleo,
Yeah. I'm gonna also
you.
help.
So as you're sort of like, getting ready to sort of like lean out the truck and take a shot at this thing, you can see Dr. Z is firing right on you.
What?
You have
Oh,
precious few moments to react.
that is very nat 1 energy.
Yeah,
so
that is
I
pretty
respect
nat 1.
that.
Yeah.
As he is going to blast 15 points of damage, which is a lot. That's enough to vaporize a person.
Oh, God damn.
He is going to blast straight into Boris's truck.
Okay, do I have reaction time before that hits?
You got reaction time.
Cool. How close are we to Reese?
You're right by Reese. Like you could.
Okay, cool. So what
you
I'm gonna
you could
do?
jump and grab onto the ship or something like that.
Yeah. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to. Do you want me to roll first and then tell you, or just tell you and then roll?
Tell me then, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Just
never the
hey,
other way
damn!
round.
Shut up! I'm trying to finesse. Okay.
Cheeky.
One of us has to bring food home
if it
tonight.
fails, then all I'm trying to do is tie my shoelaces, which is a bonus action.
exactly.
No, I'm not gonna do it like
Cheeky.
that. You guys are both. You don't believe that I'm doing the good.
It didn't
that the
sound
world,
like that.
that I want to see. I'm doing the
Well,
good
I
that I
mean,
want to see in the world. Okay.
Here's the thing: we have no idea what you're trying to do. That's my point.
Okay, whatever, man. But Boris,
Yes, Cleo?
you hit that anti-gravity again, boy.
Ooh.
I know.
Are you
Hit it.
Thor?
Oh well, yeah. Sure as a laser coming straight to my ass.
Without question, Boris
Right.
clunks up the lever. He doesn't even know what the plan is. He doesn't even know what's happening. But
Cool, because I'm not done. We have now taken away our own little gravity, and all space suits in the movies, which is obviously the ultimate authority on all science, have these like long straps with carabiners on them. Because
I mean, how could you not?
exactly, because
Yeah, for
astronauts are
clipping onto
constantly
clipping onto the
shit.
outside of shit. Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to assume that our spacesuits have these. And what is going to happen is we're going to hit that. And I'm going to lasso my carabiner onto Reese and pull us over to Reese so that we don't lose the car.
So
or
you're
our
gonna
lives.
try and basically strap the car, like hold it with your bare strength, and strap yourself
Yes.
to the ship. Oh, this is some fucking like Guardians of the Galaxy Drax action.
Yeah,
right?
lovely.
Because I don't want to. I also like. First of all, I don't want to die. So I know
you
that
don't
we
wanna
can
die.
save our corporeal forms by doing this to ourselves. Because obviously Boris and I are both suited up. We could carabiner ourselves to Reese. But I don't want to lose the trash mobile because I love it.
Okay, so I want two different roles here. I
Yeah, a
want
dexterity and a strength. I felt that coming.
You knew what I was going to say.
Yeah, I did. Because anytime I want to do something cool, I have to roll dexterity. So
Well, it's only if you want to suddenly, like lash one moving object to another moving object,
it's fair. It's fair.
and similar actions.
It's fair, and I respect you. So I will do it.
So we're talking -1 on dexterity.
Shit, guys.
What was that,
no.
Tay? What was that about a smell? Because I think I found the source.
How does the smell get worse?
The smell gets worse.
Okay.
But
So-
I'm really strong, so
Yeah, that which is good.
That's
I'm
pretty cool.
I'm gonna even give you a suggestion, but let's explain what's happening here. So you've
Okay.
rolled a -1 on dexterity, but a 14 on strength.
yes. Boy, that is on
So
brand.
Boris just slams the lever back up. The wheels like suddenly just going into like crazy spins as you just catapult up off the ground. It's almost like sort of slow motion-ish as the momentum you had just sort of carries you up and forwards, the entire truck sort of flipping over.
Oh, shit.
Backwards going back up over the top.
Wow.
At that very moment, the failed blasts from Dr. Z shoot a crater in the asteroid right where you had been.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Okay.
Hey, one win.
Which is shortly followed by an asteroid slamming into it, also looking like it, just deepening the crater, looking as though either of those two things probably would have flattened you.
Oh my god, a sandwich.
Yeah.
As Cleo sort of
take
like
it.
pops out the window, hanging on tight with one sort of curled arm. I'm thinking wrapped around, you got like both windows open and you're sort of wrapped around the gap between them, like holding onto the truck, and then reaching out, like extending the carabiner and strap out towards the grey dragon, flailing at it. You miss one hoop where it could have been hooked. You miss another hoop where it could have been hooked, but your bear claw is sort of trailing along the side of the ship. It's slipping, like, buttery, out of your reach. You, Boris, and the truck are just going to float off back into the asteroid field.
Oh no.
Unless something stops you. You still have energy.
Can I do a bear claws to grab?
You should do bear claws to grab.
I'm just saying, like, not to be cheeky, but that's something I'm good at. So I'm not gonna do something.
I love that
I'm not good at right
response.
now.
This is what you should do.
I was hinting at it. I don't want to put
I know.
words in your mouth, but your claws are
It's just at this
scraping along the
moment, your
side of the ship.
claw is doing a lot of work alone, and maybe you should help it. And I'm like, baby, I will help it. Shoot. Okay, everybody cross your claws.
I've got mine crossed. Yes!
Well, we got a 19 in this house.
Amazing.
Sorry, Reese, if I puncture any holes in your beautiful Reese
The
coating.
Cleo, one arm hanging on to the side of the truck, the other claw sort of like skipping along. She digs her claws in.
Yes.
Grabs onto just the side of the armored exterior of the Grey Dragon. She is pulled all the way out of the truck. She has now become the barrel of monkeys shaped bear between these two vessels. As all that energy of the flying truck is caught there between her chest.
Oh my god,
But-
y'all, I'm sweating for real in my real life.
Mate,
But
same.
her strength holds out as the truck sort of flips out and stops at that full extension. And Cleo is there holding the Grey Dragon and holding the truck.
Hell, sorry about it, Atlas.
As that energy sort of dissipates, and Cleo is left with almost like a giant balloon. There's so little gravity, but it naturally wants to go back down towards the asteroid, because the asteroid does have some small amount of gravitational pull.
Okay. Well, we're scared of that.
And it's sort of
I'm like, now that I'm up here, I'm like, boy, it's going to be real shitty to get it back on the ground.
Boris is like, he's strapped in, sort of sitting there. He's like,
If you can get the wheels back down, I can turn it back on. The gravity, that is.
Okay. Theoretically, if I push off with my feet on Reese and like aim towards the ground, maybe it'll then have less distance to fall.
you're up a couple meters up off the ground with this sort of like weird floaty balloon truck.
Because if we drop it from too high up, that's just as bad as it getting shot, I guess. And I mean,
not
if you-
not quite as
not
bad.
really. Never mind.
You'll
I'm remembering that little
you
sinkhole.
might wreck the truck, but you certainly won't lose
The stuff.
all the equipment required to
Right.
recharge your shields, which is top priority.
Okay. Is that another dexterity?
No, I just call that a strength, because you just basically just try to force
Okay.
this thing down onto the ground,
You can do it.
I'm getting strong. Bear strength. Bear hug.
Ah, that's 19. So Cleo sort of out there in space, in her bare astronaut suit, just maneuvers this truck back down towards the asteroid. She's still hanging on with her claws, gets her feet both out and pinned up against the side of the ship, and then extending them both down, releasing the claw with a sort of Hail Mary. She pushes down and shoves the truck back down, where it lands with a sort of a gentle bounce on the upgraded suspension. Back down on the slightly unfirm ground of the asteroid beneath, and once again, with a ka-chunk, with a painful, awkward, looks as though like the lever isn't installed straight enough to really want to move on its axis. Boris forces forces his little ramshackle artificial gravity to turn back on, and with a bounce and a sort of a lump, the truck cements itself back down onto the surface of the asteroid.
Well,
Shit.
we're back. Ain't nothing happened.
Yes. I appear to have miscalculated my last shot there. Sorry about that, Cleo and Boris.
Ain't a thing, chicken ring.
Chicken ring.
Or whatever. Things get lost in translation over time, okay?
Yeah. Cleo doesn't even know what a chicken is.
Probably not. I've never seen one. You know, even though we do have art of a chicken. But that...
All right.
Boris pulls he's got a line, just like a cable line that sort of comes out from underneath the glove box, and he clamps it onto his suit, and then throws open the door and clambers out of the ship. The first step he takes, he's just like, whoop, launches up into the sky and sort of like bobbles about before it's like catching on the end of the line and sort of seesawing back down to the ground as he starts clawing his way along the outside of his truck back to the trunk. His legs just off the ground because he's pulling himself with his arms. His legs are sort of flying behind him as he opens up the trunk to start getting some of the gear out.
Oh, this is going to be easy, Cleo. None of it weighs anything.
As he very haphazardly is grabbing like way more than he would normally be able to lift with one hand, just sort of swinging it out dangerously out of the back of his truck. You see like a few like sort of loose cables and tools just drift off into space.
Classic
Cleo
Boris.
is probably going to be really excited by that. Yeah. I hate to say,
Yeah.
I would like to say that she's like, hey, stop it. We need that stuff. But she doesn't say that. Instead, she sees that and she's like, hell! And she tries it. And if, well, I mean, if that don't start your fire, then your wood's wet. You know what I mean? Hell! Look at me. And she picks up the
Cleo is
car.
able to pick up literally just everything, obviously, with this,
All of it.
this lower gravity and her intense ursine strength. You don't even need to roll a strength check. You could probably pick up the grey dragon if they turned off its landing gear.
Oh.
I don't think she thought of that. Because I do not want to have to roll and be the reason that we live on this asteroid now. But, depending on how long we're here, things could develop. So that's probably really good motivation to get going. So I'm gonna communicate her into Ze and Trevor again.
Hey! Ze!
Yeah, yes.
Ze!
Yes, Cleo.
Ze! Ze, we're down here. We're at the place thrown out a string. He climbed it. He's up there waving things. Anyway, yep. Over now.
And so
Very communicative.
That was the update.
All right, excellent.
Trevor is sort of like looking like, he's like sort of like wiping the sweat off his forehead. He's finally starting to calm down. Doesn't matter that the shields are on 4. We made it. We made it that part. That was the hard bit. As long as Boris isn't full of shit about being able to recharge our shields, we can get out of this. And if Boris is full of shit about being able to recharge our shields, then we're gonna die so quickly it won't matter.
Hey, you know what? Always look on the bright side of life. But I'm gonna look up to Boris. Well, what kind of help you need up there?
Boris is like,
you need anything?
Trevor! Oh, I didn't bring my communicator.
and he's like sort of squeezing his face right next to Cleo's to try and talk into her communicator.
All right, hold on. Let me press the button. Hold on.
Can you hear me? Trevor, you need to turn off the seals just for a moment. Yeah. I need you to turn off the seals.
You got that?
Trevor's like sort of like
Trevor.
Those shields are the only thing. I mean, what if another big one comes?
Well, I mean, do you want...
I'm in the guns. I will not miss a second time. Do not worry about it. I've got it completely on lockdown.
Trevor gives Dr. Z a very wild, untrusting look.
Yes, I see you have complete trust in me, Trevor. Do not worry about it. I've got this.
He's the fastest gun in the West.
reaches down on the console, taking a deep breath, and just powering down the shield. Boris, however,
you hear that? You hear that?
does move kind of swiftly and competently as the shields power down.
Look at him go.
He's just like,
Cleo, hold this.
he shoves like a sort of a universal tool thing into Cleo's mouth and sort of like stacks some more things into her arms as he starts prying open a control panel on the exterior of the Grey Dragon. He's sort of pulling on cables that he grabs quite easily. It's a big cable. He's like yanking it, trying to unplug it, pulling it, twisting it every which way and when. You can see asteroids are still landing all around you on the surface of this thing. Only small ones are hitting Reese at the moment, sort of doing some minor
no big
cosmetic
deal.
damage to the paint job. And
Like
Reese is
hail.
still sort of just going. And then Boris he's tugging and twisting. He can't get this cable out, and he looks over at Cleo and he's like,
Cleo, the knife.
Hold on. Which, this one or that? Which, this one?
The big one.
Oh, the big one. Well, okay, all right. You're a big knife guy today. All right. Hands it over.
sort of big energy blade vibro knife thing. He grabs it, fires it up. It looks like some kind of like electro meat cleaver. It really doesn't look like a tool that he should be using for this sort of fiddly business. But he sort of just gets in there and starts like waving the tip of it around inside the control panel of the ship. And then there's a sort of a spark, and the lights sort of dim on the inside of the ship for a moment as he pulls the loose cable out of its housing. You can see it's been roughly chopped at one end now. Inside the cable, there's just like loads of little wires sort of sparking about as Boris sort of like licks his fingers and starts separating. Oh, ow, 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 and sort of stops the sparking. He separates out the wires and stops the sparking.
Boris, you fucking mad lad.
And then he hands the blade straight back to Cleo. He forgets to turn it off. He's holding it by the blade though to be polite. Sort of, getting sort of zapped by it as he hands the handle back towards Cleo.
Cleo takes it right back and immediately turns it off and is like, Jesus, go.
He's not really a weapons
Mad
guy.
as a dirt wall. Hell.
There wasn't time, Cleo. There wasn't time.
All right. Mozart, do your thing.
The solder.
All right. Hold on. I got it right here. Hold on. Here to go. All
Wait,
right.
no,
Here.
Nope.
Nope.
It's this one underneath.
Oh, oh, God damn.
Oh, hang on. We can lose this.
He reaches
No.
and grabs a big trunk that Cleo's carrying, yanks it out of her grasp and throws it off into the air for it to drift off into space.
From hell to half acres. Boris, what was in that?
Oh, those were just my screwdrivers.
Oh, okay. It don't matter.
We
Here.
probably won't need them.
Oh, yeah.
I just brought them because it's always good to be prepared with any tool that you might need.
Yes, of course. And he just
And
Yeah.
we possibly will need those.
Oh, you think? Okay. Oh, how far away are they right now?
They are floating off like
They are
beyond
gone.
your
They're
reach.
gone,
Like
okay.
he literally just tossed them away.
Good.
Okay.
Not
work,
really
Boris.
thinking about the zero gravity situation as they vanish off
Got it. Cool. I'm
off
handing
amongst the sky of bright lights and asteroids.
Wow. He's so dumb. He is so dumb. He thinks Johnny Cash is a pay toilet.
I'd love that Cleo thinks he's reckless. Like,
It is great.
I feel like he is like really at the top of the meter right now, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
well, yeah, he's got to work fast. This is
but I'm not going to stop him
This is
because
life or
I
death.
This is genius.
I know genius when I see
exactly,
it.
yeah.
so
Yeah.
So he grabs the soldering tool from Cleo, and as you can see, like he's sort of wrestling about, and he sort of starts walking up Cleo's chest. He's hanging on to the cable with one hand, and he reaches the end of his own steel cable going back to the truck. So like looking down at the carabiner on himself, then looking up because Cleo's holding the stack of gears, and
Oh,
he's just
no,
walking up
Boris.
Cleo's chest to get up to the things that Cleo's carrying. He's got one boot sort of resting on Cleo's chin, the other on her chest, as he sort of nods and like unstraps the carabiner from his own suit, and then sort of he's floating up. Now he's sort of holding on to the power cable coming from the ship.
Boris?
He's no longer attached to anything other than the fact that he's hanging on to this thing as he sort of flips about, So he's pivoted around, the heel of his boot now landing on Cleo's face. Obviously, she's got the space suit to stop it, but it's still it's sort of right there in her face.
That's all right.
He pivots around and clambers up, walking up onto the stack of things where he begins working, humming away to himself. He's soldering away. He's attaching this cable that goes to the Grey Dragon to some of the things that Cleo is carrying.
Listen, there's a part of this that is dead.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling it. This is real.
This is way too natural.
This is real.
Yeah.
This is real shit. This is coming fast.
Yes.
But at the same time, there is another asteroid shower just sort of spiriting down in. And Trevor looks over at Z and is like,
Do not worry.
Boris, can we turn the shields back on?
Do not worry. I've got this, Trevor.
And I do want to try and use my computering side to try and figure out a ideal target again. Just a perception, or is there any way I can try and sneak a hacking in there? Probably not.
No, I mean, not really. These things are just, the asteroids flying in at you, you know?
Right.
You've...
I've rolled an 18 on my perception to try and figure out what the best target is.
All right, so you can see this time that most of these things they're coming in like way short of the Grey Dragon. They're not going to hit you.
All right.
Yeah, a bit worst case scenario, they're just going to fling sort of sand up in your face.
All right.
But one of them is coming in looking like it's just going to clip the wing.
All right. I will let the crew know that.
We have a fleet of asteroids coming in towards us, but only one of them seems to be immediate danger. I have target painted that for us all. Trevor, if I do miss this, however, it could be aiming for the wing.
Trevor, it doesn't even wait to hear the entirety of that sentence as he dives almost head first into the other gun turret. So getting himself in there, like wheeling the turret around as well.
All right then, Trevor. Okay, I'd love to see your trust in me, much like I had trust in you for this suicide mission into the wall.
Shut up, Z, and fire!
But I think it's just a bit hypocritical of you to immediately, without seeing any kind of action from myself, try and take it upon yourself to save the day. Yes. Now, I know that we named a ship after you, the hero, but you could give a jelly a chance.
No.
Okay. Look, it's fine. It's just,
Okay, no, you should probably fire. I have fucking rolled a 1 again.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dan,
we should not be putting Dr. Z in this turret.
Dan, this is the second natural one in a row. Wait.
At least he's not firing.
It's the same as the last one, though.
It's the exact
At least
same.
he's not firing at you.
Yeah, it's...
You know?
Oh, no, it's not the exact same. It's a 6.54.
Oh, I see it. Never mind. It's different.
Look,
How did you
same amount of
manage
damage.
that?
I'm terrible at this, but
This is phenomenal.
This is painful.
This is
I'm really embarrassed
this is like
by
a world
this. It is
record.
hurting me as a person and a jelly.
Well, give me another percentile roll.
Oh, Dick, come on.
How bad?
62. God
Oh,
damn
62.
it, again, in the
Wait
60s.
a minute.
So it's
Wait a minute. No. This is the exact same because last time you got
62 as well.
This
What?
is it.
This is the exact same.
This is
This
creepy.
is pretty weird.
This is almost as though Dr. Z just has like one way
No.
of
Look,
firing.
it could be different, but
No.
holy hell, those are just unless
Hold on. I want to screenshot it.
that is crazy luck. Bad luck.
Because this is...
one and a 15, and then a 62, and then a 1 and a 15, and then a 62. What are the chances of that?
I know.
Not high.
This is like during Benjamin's when I got that like 4 out of 4 like weird things.
That is crazy luck, but in the wrong area.
Yes.
So Dr. Z fires, and he actually fires pretty true because he hits the asteroid,
Oh, and then it just makes
Breaking
all the
it.
other ones into the fucking... Oh.
breaking it into a myriad of pieces, most of which are coming in strong at the Grey Dragon.
Burning rain. I just wanna see you standing in there.
Trevor is like looking madly at like this burning rain of asteroid parts as he just sort of fires blindly into it. He fires off a bunch of rounds, but what
Why
can
not?
you do to like 100 small pieces? You know, he gives it his best though.
Yeah.
Wait, do we have time? Because I've got another idea for what we could do.
Maybe. Well, what Trevor does is he fires and he hits one of the larger pieces of asteroid for what good that does, because there are still, like just dozens of these asteroid pieces coming in at you, and your shields are turned off.
Do I still have time to do something?
Yeah, you still got another 2 points of energy after all.
All right. I'm thinking if I fire and Trevor fires at the exact same time, and the two blasts of laser hit each other at the same time, could it like maybe take out like a bunch?
Well, that superhero double laser effect.
Exactly, and try and like get the two laser shots to hit it and make a little explosion in the sky to take out some of those that debris.
That's just crazy enough to work.
Yes. Now,
don't cross the streams.
We need to cross streams, Trevor.
Trevor sort of like wildly looking at Dr. Z, and then, there's a sort of a dawn of realization in his head. And this is kind of like a Zarg maneuver. This is the kind of crazy shit they get up to. So he nods, and you can see like when he's back in action mode, he's no longer freaked out about the fact that like he was operating on such low shields. He's now back in problem solving mode because he is an action hero after all. And he get a toothy Zarg-like grin at Dr. Z as he aims at a point where the asteroids are incoming.
All right, target paint, Trevor.
All right, I'm going in here.
Right, you're going in there. I mean, was that the... Right, I shouldn't question it. I have missed twice. Yeah, no, I will follow your lead on this one.
All right, shoot the damn thing.
Oh, shoot the damn thing. You shoot the damn thing. Am I firing first or you firing first? Or should we fire on 3?
We should fire together.
Fire together. On when?
1,
yes.
2,
I fired
3.
first.
Oh, fuck! I rolled a 2! What is going on?
Have I got it like your chances are that low or anything? You don't have
have a negative or anything. I'm so annoyed. Genuinely annoyed. I'm so upset.
You both fire off your lasers, and they go sort of near together and then just sort of fly past one another.
We've got one more chance, do we?
You got one more chance. Quick, again!
Again. All right.
We can get this.
I don't know, Trevor. I mean, I'm glad that now you finally believe in me, but I am not starting to believe in myself. This is
very embarrassing.
This is very embarrassing. This is painful.
This has never
All right,
happened to me before.
on 3.
All right.
This time on the 3.
On the 3.
1, 2, 3.
11!
11!
And you rolled 11.
And I
They
rolled
match.
an
They
11
match.
as well.
They actually
They
match. 2
match.
11s. They match. We hit perfectly.
That's so lucky. It's 11-11.
It's 11-11.
Make a wish. I wish the asteroids would.
I wish
fuck
that they
off.
would just fucking let me hit things when I try to hit asteroids with a fucking space gun.
11-11.
On your last chance to do anything about this, the 2 blasters, you're both aiming from the turrets either
It
side
actually
of the
matches
bridge,
though. That's fucking cool.
firing off, and your shots are symmetrical. You both
Yes!
fired at the exact moment, at the same location
Synchronicity.
as they fire off, and they struck together. Like, some of the asteroids have already sort of come past your impact point by the time they strike together, but they hit together and they just blast out. The full energy is just sort of blasting out in all directions, evaporating the vast majority of the asteroids, firing some of the smaller pieces straight back down at you at a higher speed.
Oh, fuck.
Like little pellets. But the Grey Dragon is well armored. The same, I'm afraid, cannot be said about the paint job, however, as Reese is just carpeted with it's like he's being like buckshot, like he's just
like the bad bloke from 007 with the diamonds in his face.
Yeah, just sandblasted, as the paint job is really messed up, as like little bits of asteroid are embedded in the armor. He doesn't take any damage, but he's still whimpering like he's in pain, as you know, definitely his vanity has taken a serious blow.
Reese, you'll be alright. We'll get that paint scrubbed up and bright new colors replacing it. It is time that we do all go shopping. I think we all deserve new outfits, and Reese, you will be on the top of that list.
Thank you, Doctor, but please, Boris, we need to get the the shields back on as soon as we can.
It's okay, I'm almost done.
Boris sort of wiping the front of his space helmet as like he and Cleo just showered sand and shards and dust.
It's better
Oh my
than
God, our
actual
spacesuits.
meteors.
It's just me and you, mate.
It's meteor dust.
It's just all of
As
us.
he's sort of like he's done a bunch of stuff, and then
What a family.
suddenly Cleo sort of feels something coming loose, and so a large chunk of what she's carrying is just sort of like pulling away. And you, as you sort of you look up, you can see.
Yeah, I agree,
that
Tay.
Boris.
I agree that with that face that you're pulling.
Boris
Hold on.
is now he's pulling himself hand over hand along the cable back towards the grey dragon. His legs up in the air, and on the other end of the cable, there's just this box. You could it's like a crate. It's like twice the size of Boris himself, of just ramshackle things strapped together.
That's the battery
Sort of-
pack?
That's the battery pack. It's just sort of
Tay
floating,
looks so
flopping,
unimpressed.
floating and flopping loosely at the side of the grey dragon.
Oh, no.
As he's like pulling himself hand over hand back towards the grey dragon, and you can see he starts rummaging around inside the cavity he made, inside the control panel, and he sort of looks back, big grin on his face.
Ah, Cleo, a screwdriver.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Fucking hell.
Okay. Cleo is straight up just looking at him like when a dog is hearing a weird noise and her head's kind of cocked. You mean like them ones? And she points out to space.
Where the sort of the
Where
slowly
they went?
rotating, getting
Yeah.
smaller and smaller case vanishes off behind the asteroids.
Yeah.
I just...
Boris looks up there idly, looks back down at Cleo,
I knew I should have done something.
looks up again, and then he's like,
Well, it's just to turn the safety key back round, so a butter knife would do.
Okay. Can I see the screw or whatever he's looking at?
So if you were to sort of peer in there, you can see there seems to be like a safety power engage and like on and off kind of thing, like a keyhole.
Okay.
One of the things where you just jam a flathead screwdriver in and you can turn it one way or
So
the
it's
other.
an insertable that would require something like a Phillips head screwdriver or a flat, like
a flathead
wedge one.
screwdriver. It's just anything that he could just jam in there and twist will do this job.
I feel like Cleo would just inherently have something like, not a screwdriver, but like a wedge of metal or like a grenade key or something. You know what? I'll bet Cleo's got a grenade that she
And you can
hasn't
just you
used.
can just bend back the key and just use that.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do.
It's so crazy that you go there. You have a knife.
Do I?
Dick even said, like a butter knife.
But it was an energy blade.
Yeah, but it's still
I don't have a butter knife.
No, I know. No, look, I'm not telling you. I'm saying it's just funny that your mind goes to like, let's bend the key back of a grenade, whereas you have like a.
That's something
you
that
have
Cleo
knives.
definitely has on her at all times, you know?
I mean, I don't always have a butter knife, but I do always have a grenade. So-
I feel like Cleo just licks butter straight out of the out of the
exactly.
cartons, you
oh
know?
my
So,
god.
yeah.
Who uses a knife for butter?
Yeah.
Like,
More like butter spoon.
I have my own tub, and when I have food, the food is
Sort of
the
slosh it in.
vehicle.
The vehicle for the butter.
Yeah. Right. I can't believe we're even having this conversation. This is a cultural difference, I think. But this is obviously like, if you were from Dias, like I think you would
Yeah,
probably
you'd
butter
understand.
like that too. You would get it, but it's cool that you don't
I mean,
get
not
it. Like,
not that in Dias they have butter. It would just be
they
like sort of
definitely do not have
food
that.
food grade lube or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even and that's like if you had a really good take after robbing a transport that shouldn't have been there, you know, like
You can grease up your flatbread with some food grade lubricant.
yeah,
my God.
and
I mean-
and that's like that's a Christmas thing,
Yeah.
you know? You're not just like that's not a Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to use a grenade. All right. I see what you need. I got you, Boris. Now, you know, I ain't got a screwdriver because somebody yeeted them, but I do got this.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's what I thought. Now me and you speak the same language, my friend, and I knew.
Toss it here, Cleo.
Well, yeah, all right. Here you go.
You know what I'm going to ask for.
Oh no.
Yes, I. Oh.
I mean, you fell for that. That was dick magic.
I'm
for
sorry.
That was
real.
rude. That was very rude.
I know, but I knew what was happening, Dan. I shouldn't have done it, but it felt fun.
It felt so good. My mind's
felt
telling
good.
me no, but my body.
body's telling
I
me
mean,
yes.
I was definitely like, in the early stage of this, I was considering throwing like additional spanners into the works, but it's just not been necessary.
Oh well, thank you, Dick. Thank you.
That's what you say every time.
Yeah.
You're always like, hey, I mean, initially I was going to use your disadvantages against you, but you guys do it all the time yourselves.
Yeah, but you know what,
So
Tay?
I've
We're
never
still
needed to.
alive, so you know what?
Still alive.
We're still alive. We're still here. We're still kicking.
But
R-E-S-P-E,
Cleo's got a grenade. It's not. She hasn't pulled the
Fine.
key all the way
You know
out,
what?
although she
Fine.
has twisted it around.
This is a dexterity. I'm going to do this. I'm going to say my prayer to my God, which is butter, and here it goes. Pew! Okay,
It's a
it's
negative
oh my
2,
God.
but at least it's not a natural 1.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Well, it feels about as bad as a natural 1. What is
Cleo,
going on?
She's
Jesus.
doing like a nice, safe underarm toss with this grenade towards
We
Boris.
don't play in no gravity very often.
But she fumbles with her claws at the last minute, putting a spin on it, and it just sort of is just flying off up to join the screwdrivers.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay, I'll go back into my suit for something else. I'm gonna look for something else. How would you like me to do that? Would you like me to assume an item or
Wait, do you still have your bucket of bits that you were gonna do like a dice roll for the bucket of bits stuff?
I do, but I never completed the list. I could make something up.
Let's just do a percentile roll on your bucket of bits.
Okay.
And I will treat it as big, good, small, bad.
Okay, so I've got a 55
Bucket of bits.
bucket of bits. Okay, fine. So we made it, guys. We made it by
made it.
5 points. So
So as Cleo sort of reaches back into her bucket, just pulling out the first thing that feels vaguely like it might slot into that gap and pulls it out. It looks like a little piece of packaging. It's sort of like a really sort of a firm but flexible like card-like plastic. But it's long and thin, and although it's quite floppy and flimsy, if it was turned just right and didn't scrunch up too much, it
my
might
God.
just do the trick.
oh my God.
Feels like Boris has got some rolling to do himself.
It do feel like that. I'm gonna like pull that out of my container and I'm gonna hold it up into the chill space air, if you could even say that, because it is very oxymoronic, and I see now the error of my ways, but nonetheless, into the atmosphere, into the absence of air, and I'm just gonna say, oh boy, I can't believe we just wasted a grenade, Boris. Hell. And I'm gonna hand him this. Try that.
Just sort of reaching out at full extension, yeah? So Boris
Yeah.
is sort of like reaching out with his arm. He's hanging on
Yes.
with one hand onto this cable, and there's his
Perhaps we
legs
have
are sort of
evolved.
flailing in space as he like extends out with his other arm. We've got this barrel of monkeys thing going on again. As he reaches over to Cleo, he ends up having to sort of repel himself and shimmy down the cable a little bit. He's looking kind of precarious as he finally gets close enough to grab between two fingers of his oversized spacesuit. His fingers are a bit sort of floppy and waving about. He grabs this flimsy little thing and pulls it back towards
come
the
on,
ship.
Boris.
Oh my
And
God.
Boris, as an expert engineer, he's going to make an engineering roll here.
Oh my God. 14.
14.
That's better than anything we've rolled.
As Boris reaches his hand in there, he's fiddling around, and he manages to twist the little safety knob. As suddenly, the makeshift battery pack he's produced sort of just starts humming, and there's a blue neon glow emanating from it. As inside the ship, Trevor has climbed back up out of the gun turrets to check on the console. He's like,
It's working. It's working really fast. This is
Uh-oh. Too fast.
Boris. What happens if you put too much power into our shields?
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, Boris. Jesus fucking Christ.
We cannot
We need to take
ever have...
damage to keep the shields low. This is like turning into heat. You know, you have to drive a certain speed. or the bus will explode. No, that's Speed.
Boris is
Sorry,
sort of like-
it's a different movie.
We are on Speed right now.
Ah, yes.
Wait,
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Cleo, what?
I forgot that was another thing.
Another thing
Anyway.
that you do in your spare time.
It's simple science, Trevor.
Oh, is it? Okay.
If you overpower the energy field, that's just how you make an energy blade.
Oh, shit, Boris. What?
What?
He just turned the fucking Grey Dragon
Boris
into the
just
Grey
turned us
Blade?
into a knife.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Well, all right.
And then Boris looking at the Grey Dragon, and then sort of looks down at his own body, looking over at Cleo, and he's like,
Oh my god, we should get up.
Cleo,
Yeah.
I think we need.
and then he looks over at his truck, and then he sort of like looks down at his wristwatch,
Oh, fuck, Boris.
and he's like, and then his eyes finally do sort of settle and widen with surprise as he's like, run! he starts scrambling along the ship, abandoning all the things that he's got as he starts just crawling along the ship back towards the airlocks.
Oh my.
Run, Cleo,
Oh my-
run!
Can I just ask, like, has he left our only tools up here?
I mean, he's got backup tools. He's got a lot of crap. He's a hoarder.
Okay, I like how you said that so that you could keep me from staying up here and trying to get him.
I mean, you
I'll
guys do not
take
have a
that
very
hit.
good track record with like suddenly emanating energy fields.
You're right about that. I feel like
Wow.
we recently might have had an episode where I probably am still like shaved from that.
Yeah, probably.
Shaved being a really variable term here for like
Burned.
got burnt off.
Singed.
The chafing still
Yeah.
haunts me, but I'm still getting ingrown hairs from that. But I too will run. I will.
Run.
I'm following Boris. Yeah, run.
We're gonna go into action mode here as Cleo and awkwardly at almost zero gravity, just sort of like clawing their way. I'm thinking like sort of along the underside of the Grey Dragon, mad hand and foot. Every time you touch it, you're getting like these little static shocks, as though the energy shield, even though Trevor hasn't turned it back on, it sort of seems to be trying to like set itself off and break out.
Oh, shit.
From Trevor's viewpoint, he can see the energy shields are back at full, but you know, like
They are, but they're a knife now. So
they're back at full, but like things don't look normal with them. There's no proper heads-up display for the phenomenon that's happening.
Trevor.
So he can only imagine what's going on, but they recharge faster than they should be, and the recharging signal is still sort of going on there, even though they're at full.
Trevor.
Trevor's like sort of staring at the screen like, see?
Right, now, I have been caught in that energy field before, and it is not fun. We need to slow down that recharge rate while we buy some time for Cleo and Boris to get back on board.
What? There's nothing I can do. Boris has taken control over the network from the outside.
Yes, I'm saying bounce this ship into small things.
what?
Trevor sort of like looks at you and he's like, oh yeah.
Hit the shields with small debris, slowing down the recharge, buying them time to get back inside before
Oh
this
my
whole fucking
God.
ship turns into an energy blade and our best friends get cut into billions of pieces.
David
Now's the
is
time to
smart,
be
too.
a reckless pilot, Trevor. Bump into things.
Holy crap!
Trevor's sort of like, oh yeah. As he disengages the landing gear, the Grey Dragon begins to float up away from the asteroid, leaving Boris's truck behind. We'll just have to stay here. Perhaps you can claim it back next time you come through.
Yeah, it'll be a little memento, a little relic of our voyage through the wall.
Tried to save it. We
as
tried.
the Grey Dragon
Barely,
drifts
but we tried.
away.
That's a landmark now.
We barely tried, but...
Cleo and Boris still sort of scurrying along it as Trevor is looking for a choice meteorite that's near enough and close enough to your current trajectory that he doesn't have to engage the engines too long and risk shaking his friends loose. This is one of the more dangerous situations you guys have been, because like unlike Herodotus's sort of zero-G effects as well, like you are in the middle of an asteroid field. So floating up into space, you know, is very dangerous. Like you could potentially still be rescued by the Grey Dragon flying well, but you could also be smashed by a lot of flying objects.
Well, that's not happening right now, so let's
We're good.
I don't know why you're even thinking about
Trevor's
that.
like,
All right, just hang on for 1 second. Hang on for 1 second, guys. Just hang on really tight. You holding on?
Yeah.
and then there's a quick little burst. It's almost like he's rigged the system. He's done sort of thing where he's using 2 different ignitions. Like he's popping on the speed, but then he's cutting the engines manually at the same time, just to get this tiny, minuscule burst of energy. Not as minimal as possible. But I'm going to roll a little piloting roll.
Of course you are. My butter's clenched, Dickie. Oh, God.
It's a 9. So we're going to need a strength save from Cleo and from Boris, because this isn't quite going as intended. It's a little bit too much power, and you're going to have to like make sure you're holding on good.
Fuck yes.
Oh.
Amazing.
So Cleo
It's a
Cleo
23.
has rolled a 23 on the strength save.
Oh my goodness. Boris just.
And Boris has rolled a 10. Boris sort of flapping about, but he manages to hug on as the ship sort of bursts out, blasting its way through. He's got himself into the line of fire, which is getting pummeled by these smaller asteroids. They're just like whacking the shields, keeping them in check as the shields are sort of like wavering and flickering on. Because the shields aren't properly engaged, sometimes they're just hitting Reese, who's like just squawking and squealing with pain. But Cleo and Boris are finally able to continue scurrying along, no longer getting these static shocks as the shields are kept somehow at bay.
I will rush over towards the airlock door, communicating with Boris and Cleo.
Cleo, Boris. Cleo, Boris,
yeah.
you're still there.
Ze!
Yes, Cleo. The bloody shields. Boris has rigged them. They're going to... Well, are you close?
Well, yeah, almost.
Alright, I'm going to be meeting you at the door.
Okay.
Boris, you there?
I mean, he's there.
Yes, I'm just behind Cleo.
Oh, right, okay, he's still there. Good. I just, Boris, you were very silent there for a moment. Everything's a bit tense at the moment.
Well, it's because he made us into a knife.
Yes, I mean, Boris, next time you go making an entire ship into a bloody energy blade, do you want to maybe talk to the entire crew first? I mean, the original plan was increase shield capabilities, not...
Oh, he did.
Yes, well, of course he's bloody done it, and he's going to use himself as the first test experiment.
Well, yeah.
But it is quite exciting, Doctor. I don't think anybody has done
I
this
think
before.
edging was exciting enough. I don't know if we need to be doing this as well.
This really turns up the edging,
Think
though,
about
don't
the
it?
application.
Yes, I can think about the applications.
You ever edged with a knife?
No, I have not. But I've seen people who have done it,
Well-
and they have been scarred for life, Cleo.
I mean, that is true. That is true in many ways.
I'm at the door now.
I'll punch the button and open it and pop my head out and wave and be like,
Cleo! Boris!
You can see Cleo is right there, has just dragged herself pretty much to the door.
And I drag Boris in.
Trailing on behind. Yeah, like once you sort of get a foothold in there, suddenly, the artificial gravity of the Grey Dragon is finally at play again. You're actually no longer the sort of like bare balloon, and you're able to easily just sort of hoist the weightless Boris, yank him in the
Bear
door.
balloon.
okay. As he comes in, I
Boris, look. I do think what you've done is bloody brilliant. But it is insane.
Boris is sort of like wide-eyed, and he's like,
Oh no! Oh no!
What?
We're going to miss it!
and he starts running down the hallway towards the bridge.
Miss what?
Oh, hell. Oh,
Miss,
hell.
miss it!
And he's like rushing in as Trevor is like going,
Guys!
Well, we're coming.
Well, yes, of course we're coming.
Because I don't want to miss
I'm going to
it.
pull the door closed first and shut this airlock.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then I look over at Cleo and be like,
I thought we were meant to be the ridiculous ones, and now we've been paired with Boris and Trevor, who apparently just fly us into walls and turn us into knives.
Z, I ain't never seen anything like that.
Look, I think I think we need to get control of this crew again. Smart beer and a doctor. Not ridiculous knife and fly into a wall.
We gotta turn this back into the
We have
floating
got to get
science
some
center that it
order.
was in the
Exactly.
first place.
I agree.
I mean,
But anyway,
really
I mean, it
as
is
you follow
ridiculous.
behind,
ridiculous.
you can see
Ridiculous.
like Boris has just rushed straight into the bridge where he's standing there like holding onto the back of Trevor's chair, both of them sort of slack-jawed looking out the front as there's just blue light just like filling the cockpit, just sort of, and the outside it's like you're looking through this rippling blue fire.
It's very cool, Boris. Look, I mean, it's ridiculous, but it is cool.
As Trevor sort of like looks back to you guys, I haven't even turned them on, and he turns the shields back on.
Oh, fuck.
And there's like a jolting feeling. It's like an electricity in the air as that rippling blue fire ahead of you suddenly just solidifies, crystalline into just points. There's almost like a bladed point out the front of you, but you can sort of see like a sort of almost crystalline energy shield shape extending out from the Grey Dragon at various angles.
Wow.
As Trevor, a big toothy grin forming on his face, fires up the engines as you begin cutting through asteroids like butter.
God, tingles, you guys. Literal
Okay, that
tingles.
was-
This is sick.
Dick, you're so freaking smart.
Man, this is
I'm just
cool.
gonna look at Boris and I'm gonna be like, Boris.
Yeah, Boris. I agree. Boris.
Boris is just like staring out the window, his smile getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Boris, what remote did you get that battery out of?
Yeah, Boris, how did you bloody think of such a thing? I mean, really?
Oh, it's easy. It's the thing. A ship like this, it has very, very big batteries for the life support units.
The what?
Hold on, what?
Oh, it's fine. You can live without those for days.
Right, yes, and I suppose, is that what we should expect then, Boris? To be living without those for days?
But like what part? Like what part though? Like
Like food replication?
did you turn the food replicator off?
Did you turn the food... Well, I
Boris,
don't mind
did you
so
do-
much the food replicator, as long as the source
Wait,
machine
wait, wait,
still
wait.
works.
Boris,
Boris.
let me tell you. Let me talk to you.
Boris
Let me
is sheepishly sort of like turning
Hold on.
around. It's almost like he's got one eye off to one side, still looking at his handiwork as
Yeah,
Trevor
okay.
is just mowing his way through the asteroid field.
We're going to have to
like
talk about this later, Boris.
chuckling
This is-
to himself as Boris sort of like, like guiltily looks back into the living area where the food replicator is set up.
Maybe it's on that circuit.
Cleo immediately sits, just in the floor.
Oh, we're doomed. Cleo, we are doomed. Look at us.
I just didn't know. I didn't even empty anything out of. Like I didn't.
Look, all we asked him to do was to turn the bloody shields on, just to recharge them, and now we've got no fucking source in the entire ship.
Hold on. I need a minute. Cleo's gonna head into the turret. Can I see the grenade in space?
I mean, give me a roll. The chances are low, but I'll let you try.
Okay. Fuck. It's a.
Nope.
Cleo
three.
cannot even see the grenade, but just sort of wobbling by, sort of rotating slowly in space. There's a small screwdriver case.
Can I shoot it?
Why not?
I just.
Get that rage out.
I need to.
Nailed it.
Oh, that's a 23.
Well, thank God for that.
Cleo,
Glob.
polar opposite to Dr. Z's shooting,
Yeah.
vaporizes
Yeah, probably a
the
fair
the
point.
screwdriver set.
Yeah, I couldn't hit an asteroid. Cleo can hit a screwdriver. Yeah, okay, fair.
As suddenly the second half of the journey is rather effortless as Trevor is able to cut the now souped up and souped down Grey Dragon.
Nice.
As
nice.
you're going to have
Nice
to you're making your way into Wraith space rather safely, but you've only got a couple days of sort of basic life sources. Obviously your oxygen supply, your water supply, your waste management.
Oh, good.
And you're just going to have to do without food replication for.
It's a shame we weren't very
foreseeable
clear
future.
about what we wanted Boris to do. That is
I think we
unfortunate
weren't
that
really,
we weren't.
I don't think the menu was that big.
No.
Well, there hasn't been really like Boris is on a few occasions he's just taken it upon himself to sort of get things going, and every time he's done things in an unexpected way and kind of fucked with your shit a little bit.
Yes.
But like we're a knife now in an asteroid field.
I love it.
I
love it.
This is the only way to get through
This
an
is the
asteroid
only way.
field.
This is the way.
And I mean, Cleo might spend the next 3 days in the turret singing like, I hurt myself today.
Starts looking at Jordan, being like, Jordan.
'Cause I can't get a meal.
So, Reese, how does it feel to be the thing that deals the damage and cuts through things now?
How does it feel to be a knife?
How does it feel to be a knife, Reese?
I am getting my revenge on the asteroids, see?
Right.
Reese is a bastard.
Reese is fucking laughing at hurting rocks.
I feel that
love it.
on a cellular level.
And as Cleo sings her sad song to herself and thinks of brighter days when she was able to get food on demand from the ship, knowing damn well that the only food left in the ship are the things that she is like, much like the wild bear she is. She's stowed in various places.
It's true.
And that won't last long, you know. Not now that she's got the hunger for it. Now she knows where they're all placed, so she's gonna eat them pretty quick. But Trevor and Boris are both looking quite gleeful as
I can just see them.
This
I know,
potential
me too.
certain doom has been turned into a real adventure. Boris hasn't even like really thought about the fact that he's left behind his truck and lost a lot of his tools.
We'll get him a new one.
We will.
Still enraptured with the thing, and Reese, you can hear still just going with a childlike joy as asteroids just seem to like burst and pop like bubbles.
Oh,
Yeah,
so wholesome.
it is. It's just such a
It's
good
just
family
like,
moment.
because we struggled so hard that I feel like you deserve to have that kind of ending. Like there were so many ones.
So many ones. I'm actually upset.
Is that the name of the episode?
So many ones, yeah.
So many
I
ones.
think that's a good name.
I don't know if that's the most ones we've ever done though.
No, but it was the most one.
It
It was the
felt
most
like a lot.
bad ones in a row.
Yeah, they were quite important shots, and they were like after one another.
Or is the name of the episode You Call That a Knife?
Yes, that's much better. That is much better.
You call that a
Call that a
knife?
knife.
You call that
You call that a knife?
Because no one will ever figure out that a ship was going to become a
probably
knife.
won't need screwdrivers.
Probably won't need a
Yeah.
screwdriver.
Oh, too many good names.
Shit,
All
this was
right,
so good.
man, Dickie, great
I'm
episode.
feeling good. I'm feeling really good.
Or
That
the,
was so-
the butter knife, and people initially they will think it's about a butter knife that Cleo's going to give
Oh yeah.
give Boris to turn the key, but then it turns out no, the dragon, the grey dragon is
The
the
knife,
butter knife.
the butter knife is the shit. Oh, getting dick magicked all day.
Dick magic all day. Dick magic all night.
Getting dicked.
Good.
Cutting through asteroids like a knife through butter, I think is the word I used even.
So there was this like intricate web of tunnel systems and currents and things that Trevor has like a London cabbie got locked away in his brain, and he was going to take us through that. And Boris, being fucking ridiculous, just turned the ship into a knife, and now Trevor just needs to drive straight. It's insane.
Cut a path. But might I add, is adding a new slipstream behind you.
Oh, so a new just like direct path, just a tunnel.
Wait, is that really bad?
As the
But
knife.
it's really good for us.
Good for us. We know where it is.
Well, it's only halfway through, and it's from the giant asteroid. So you
Okay,
know.
So it's
fair.
like our
Fair.
secret entrance and exit through the wall.
We have to like move a rock in front of it.
Yes, I love that idea. That's so good. but also paint. But
we
paint
have
the
to
rock.
paint it
Yeah, so
because we'll forget.
we can see it.
Paint a big cross on it.
But it's like this unnatural rock just sitting in the middle of this.
No nerds allowed.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love it.
Well, it's also like, I mean, like the majority of pilots would never think to fly into those slipstreams because they look like
Dangerous.
the worst part, you know?
Yeah.
That's where the
That's
most
super-
asteroids are.
Okay.
That's super smart, though. That's how it works if you're, like, driving through a river, like a glacial river. Like, you're supposed to go into the, like, part that looks more dangerous.
All right.
Because people want to go through the... Like, if you have to drive through it, they're
Because
like...
it looks clear, but it's actually deep.
Yeah, like, you're supposed to... Like, people want to go through, like... I can't remember which way it is. Because the way they teach you how to drive through a river is opposite here.
Yeah.
Because a temporary glacial river is different from, like, an existing river. So it's like the flat part that looks really shallow
It's actually super deep and
is
dangerous.
dangerous. Because that's like the newer part, so it's more turbulent. But if you look at the like skinny deep part, like that's the part that's more stable.
Good to know.
We just did that organically with space.
Yes.
When you're smart, you're smart.
I mean, I really like how like just those beats we got in that. Like I couldn't have planned a lot of that.
I
Especially
felt like you did.
Even just like the turning it into a knife and then like the sort of the little 1-2 punch of like, oh, but he had to he's fucked the ship. You've only got a couple days left and you've got no food.
Yeah.
Like that was a last minute thought.
Oh, good. I'm glad we.
But
I'm
like
glad
it
we helped
works
with that.
It works
Holy
so
shit.
well.
That was
So if we
it
kept our
felt
mouth
like
shut,
the
we
whole
could've-
time we were playing that, and I was like, how did he think of all this shit? Like I was like, if he didn't do all this story would be dumb.
Yeah. No, it was so good. Oh, I loved it.
I was like having
I was thinking like I would make it so that like you'd have to like defend like I was gonna have like some sort of like like sandworm come out of the asteroid or something.
Yeah.
It just was
We
not
didn't even need
necessary.
it.
Yeah. Like once I started getting on a roll with like Boris being the
rocks
antagonist,
were
it was like
enough.
okay, actually, you know
We
what?
were our own worst enemy. Rocks couldn't have been enough.
rocks and ourselves.
As soon as like because like you're supposed to be like you have this cruiser that's got its own little fucking chunky gravity thing. You guys can be like strapped onto it, just working
No.
on the ship. It's
Why
fine.
would we do that? Why would we
And
behave?
is
like-
Boris upset that we've
like
lost
that?
his car?
Well, it's he hasn't had time to process that thing because he's too excited about the fact that he's just invented
that he's
knife
created?
ships.
Also, how
Yeah,
great is it that
that's
this
fair.
like insane, amazing energy blade ship that's flying through space now, cutting through rocks, is essentially just a ship with like a few cable wires dangling off the end of it with a fucking box just bouncing along. Just like that's the source of the power. It's just this weird dongle just being like brr, 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 brr. Just
bashing around on the back of the ship.
like a deep sea angler.
exactly. It's just gonna like all it needs is one hit to that dongle and the fucking whole super weapon of energy blade in space is gone. But currently,
Wow, we're not a great target right now, are
no,
we?
we're not. That's super cool.
We're a ranged target.
I love it though. I
the
love
minute
it so
that you
much.
get up close, we're in trouble. Oh my god!
I
this
hope
is
we can
nuts.
keep
Like,
this. I know it's like
No, but the minute they get up close, you cut through them, like because you're a giant
True.
energy blade.
But if we roll another one and miss, and then they cut us,
yeah.
oh my
well,
god,
I mean, I think we know who not to put in charge of those rolls then.
both of us, man.
Me. no, you rolled badly, but I rolled ones.
You rolled ones like the whole
yeah,
game.
you did almost kill Cleo.
That was how many times does that happen though? Let's be real.
Look,
Like,
That was genius. Like turning off the
very genius. That
gravity on
moment,
the-
super
on
genius.
the truck.
Yeah.
So the truck like floats up like that was cool.
Yeah.
And then we get that moment of like Cleo like holding the two ships together.
I
It's
know.
like, that's,
Atlas Bear.
oh.
oh my god, we almost died 10 times.
I
huh?
know. Season 2 did
But we
start
never
off
do.
with a
We never
perfect-
do, though.
We never do.
I feel like that's the trope. Like every time we start a season, we have to almost die.
Yeah. It is almost a
Because
trope.
remember the first one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
Well, it'd be
probably
like-
a similar thing.
It'd be so like in a first episode, it would be really sad to kill off a character. Like next episode, we could sort of maybe be in a position where someone could die. But like I was really worried that Boris was going to get killed, and it would be kind of be for nothing. It'd be like
Oh my god, we couldn't. We would have had. Honestly, we couldn't have killed Boris.
Yeah.
But after like 3 ones, I was like,
I
boy,
know.
it would be weird
Me
if we had
too.
to roll a new character on the first sim. So we're only here all the way into season 2, and this is season 2 of campaign 2. So like, there's been a couple of campaigns, there's been a couple of seasons, there's been hundreds of episodes now, if I can say that, because there's like 112 or 13 or something. Mm-hmm. These have only been possible because of you. Yes. And so everybody gather around the campfire.
Gather round.
This is the first
roll up
season 2 roll call of the Bastard Legion, and that is you. And you are known by the monikers Cheaper by the Dungeon.
Cheaper by the Dungeon. Thank you.
And Lucas Duff, who you all just enjoyed in our last 2 episodes.
And we need to have back again very soon. Lucas Duff, thank you. That was amazing.
Like a million times.
Thank you, Duff.
Yeah, just live here now,
Thank
please.
you for your patronage and for your patronizing.
Yeah,
A true
and
bastard.
that's Ballad of the Seven Dice. If you want to check out his podcast, please do, because amazing.
And Marcus Brackelman.
Broccoli boy.
As they say.
As they say. They do talk
They
about
do say
him
that he is a broccoli.
well, and they say more things than that, too.
Well, we're not allowed to say those things.
We're not. This may
Not
be
in
rated
polite company.
explicit, but not explicit.
Don't worry, broccoli, we got you.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We'll keep that secret. And Eric B. Rhodes.
Eric Rhodes, take me
You a
home. You a hoe. You a hoe. You already know. You were filthy. Downright dirty. Fucking hoe. Eric Rhodes.
That was beautiful. Yeah. I've heard many covers of that song, but nothing like that.
That was for you, Eric. That was for you. From the heart.
That belongs on a whole cassette tape. And Noodle.
Noodle boy.
Noodle.
Boy, noodle boy, noodle boy.
Our favorite carbohydrate.
Yes, I eat them daily.
Yeah, well.
Not healthy, I know.
Yeah.
I ate worms, but they're pretty much noodles.
Yep.
That's the same, Dan. You can have a worm. Dick said.
Yep, thank you.
Yep. And the Abale Queen. Watch out for those bees.
Watch out for those bees.
I've been eating delicious wasp meat.
Also a fine choice.
A fine dining
cuisine. Nicole.
Hey guys,
Snyder,
it's Nicole.
Hey guys.
the biggest bastard of them all.
Hey guys, it's Nicole.
Such a bastard.
You
And
fucking bastard.
such a bastard. And Randy.
Randy.
There's a
Randy
shitstorm
Logan.
coming, Randy.
Climb that shit rope.
What
Get
is-
away from that shit river, Randy.
What is that from?
Trailer Park Boys, yeah.
Okay. All right. I was like, okay, we've said it so many times that it must be a thing,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's
No,
not.
it's
and we
Mr.
have
Leahy
just
talking to
repeated it.
Randy in Trailer Park Boys.
I need to watch that
Yeah,
again. I
it's
haven't
so
seen that
good.
since like 2010.
Oh, it's great.
I like Bubbles.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
He's my favorite.
I like.
And Ybots
999.
who is actually a real synth.
Yes, he is, and that was a bit upsetting when he told us, and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm actually a synth," and we were like,
But he's self-aware,
Yeah, he is.
and he makes his own choices, and that's why he chose to be here.
"Thank you, Ybots."
Thank you.
And Trevor forever. That's his real name.
Yeah, first and last.
and-
Thank you.
But it's
He-
spelt like what? Like forever, like FOUR.
Yeah.
It is. He had to pay a lot of money to get it changed to
Yeah.
that because
But that's what he feels, and that's who he is. So
that's who he
yeah,
is.
forever.
And he's the only pilot that we know that can get us through the wall.
yeah.
That is until Boris starts, like
Fucking
mass
with shit.
producing these knife ships.
Unannounced fuckery.
Listen, you can't be blamed for other people's genius. So,
fair.
and speaking of genius, we have Ben from No Mercy Podcast,
Ben.
and he is an actual genius. In real life.
IQ of 312, if you
If
believe
you
it.
can
Actually,
believe it,
that's true.
that is
If you don't
do.
believe it, then fair enough. Well, I can't.
I
Don't
feel
can't
like
do
I should
anything
have
to
waited.
force you to believe
I
it.
can't convince you.
The dick magic only goes so far, you know what I mean?
but-
And that's okay because next is Doff,
Doff.
or Daphne, for those of you who are uninitiated.
Doff.
Another genius.
Look at that
Because
Doff
once
magic.
again,
Why Doff?
she's picked the right place.
She has.
to
She
be.
is.
And that is here.
Doff has arrived, and here she is. Doff.
And then Clayton Dogmeat.
Dog meat. Dog meat
I
teaches
just
his
think-
daughters how to fuck shit up. and you got to watch out for the dog meat family because they are gonna. When the apocalypse hits, they're gonna fucking have everything.
They're gonna make
Like,
it.
well, they like I'm imagining sort of like shotguns and flamethrowers kind of thing.
Probably.
Yeah, I know, but
I think that's about
dog
right.
meat.
Or is it more like like a boxing glove on a spring?
Yes.
And a
Can you
nail gun?
imagine how cool it would be if your surname was Dog Meat?
Yeah. Now, all I'm saying is look out for the dog meat family because when the apocalypse hits, run from the dog meats.
Do you think we could join the family, like legally, so that
I'm
we
not
could
strong
also
enough
be
to join
called
their
that?
family. They're
Thing is, like, the tricky thing is if you join a family and you're not like sort of a core member, when the cannibalism time sort of creeps
Yeah,
in, and
this is it. Yeah.
You got to decide who you like the least and eat them,
Yeah.
and you know that like they're going to stick together.
You need to look ahead far enough into the future to start thinking about
I have a lot of
cannibalism.
really marketable skills, though. I can make a quesadilla.
Out of human flesh.
But can you convince
Probably.
someone to eat their own family member in lieu of you? Because that's the only skill that's going to matter when the apocalypse
Might do.
comes.
Might do.
And I'll tell you what, it's a skill I've been working on for a long time. I've not been cannibalized yet.
Well,
maybe
I
like,
will
we can
politely
all
just
three
take
join?
myself outside and
Just lay myself out like a hot supper.
I'll just lie down on the
You
blade.
know?
There I go. I did it for
Great.
you.
All
They
right,
won't. I don't think they'll-
mustard.
I don't think they'll want you if you're dead, though. You know how like a lizard won't eat something that somebody
Yeah.
killed? So like when you drop its dinner in the tank, it's got to be alive?
Yeah.
Or is that snakes?
Either way, sushi isn't fun off a
I
dead
mean,
person, is it?
lizards are just walking snakes.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
true.
lizards.
That's
They
true.
thought they could pull that one over us. Pull a fast one, but no. Dick's noticed.
There's a snake.
Dick has
There's
figured
a
it
snake
out.
with legs, and it tries to be like calling itself a snake still. It ain't.
Still, if you got legs.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But it's in the dictionary and everything. And the last bastard legion,
Yes.
legionnaire.
We are
Is that how that works?
Yep.
Yeah, a
Is
legionnaire is a member of the legion.
Shima.
Nah, that's a disease, Dick. Come on.
What,
And if you
Shima
s-
disease?
Legionnaire's disease, I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
Shima.
because legionnaires get it.
That's true. That's a great point. That's something to think about.
Yes.
And Shima is the last bastard
Wait.
at this time. And so that means if something goes wrong, we're going to save
We
them.
need to save Shima.
But we
I
cannot
thought if something
promise-
goes wrong, we're going to eat Shima first.
No.
Mm.
Yeah, well, don't let him know that, but maybe. But
Shima, you got a 50-50 chance here, okay? You're either first or last.
I would work on the whole
First to be
convincing
eaten or
convincing
last
us
to
that we
be
should
eaten.
eat someone else skill.
Look,
'cause
Shima, I like you, but I can't say what way I'm going to go on the day.
it just depends like what kind of apocalypse we're facing. really.
Exactly. You know,
there might be loads of food.
yeah.
it's also kind of like if you line everybody up, who smells the most like a bacon?
like a bacon.
You know what I mean?
Shima, I will give you a chance to let us know how you feel about it, but yeah, it really is going to depend
They
on,
have some marketable skills.
on the
is all
type
I'm
of
saying,
apocalypse
so
and also where we're at the time. So
Kane never could. You never know till you know.
yes.
This is Wheel of Fortune. Will you be consumed at the end times? Bastard.
Shima, look, I
Patreon
just think you're
edition.
being a bit selfish, okay? We are all hungry, not just you. All of us are hungry.
Yeah, the food replicator's been broken
Been
for
broken
like
for
a day.
while, and
So anyway,
and
I guess what I'm saying is like you should become a patron and claim
Get
that
in
last in
on
line
this.
spot, especially if you've always had the sort of weird sort of dark warped fantasy of being cannibalized by a podcast.
yeah,
We're about to open this up to an entirely new demographic.
yeah.
So check us out on Patreon.
Check us out on
Backwater
Patreon.
Check us out.
Bastards.
Hey, we're here for you.
We
And your
probably won't eat you.
Probably won't, but that doesn't mean won't.
Both of y'all are vegan, though.
Well, I can't say what's going to happen
I
when
guess
I get hungry.
because veganism doesn't count people, right?
people are fine.
So that's
Yeah.
like a free
That's a
space.
free.
Well,
free
I'm just
meat.
thinking like if
Right.
if veganism isn't because like people are only going to turn to cannibalism if veganism is off the table because most
Typically,
people will be
though, like,
you know what
aren't-
they're not
isn't
going to be
the
like
philosophy-
it's meat or nothing.
The philosophy of veganism, though, is to save the earth. So
I'll eat
in a
people before I
way,
go vegan.
Yeah.
in a way, you should eat people
Look.
because we're like the biggest plague on the
And
planet.
I'm saying Shima, 50-50.
Dan's
Well, surely,
looking
I
at
don't know,
you.
eating people. You're keeping one person alive even as you kill
But if
one.
you can take out a lot of people, then in a way, it's kind of like
That's a net benefit, I guess.
Yeah.
the net benefit of that is quite good. I would think,
you
like,
to eat too, and that's what you come to Backwater Bastards for. Is for
you shouldn't stop it too.
So
I think you should.
yeah,
keep
anyway,
going.
thanks for entertaining our podcasting and our
Thanks for letting us do this.
Thank
our
you.
chill conversations on cannibalism.
And
Yeah.
if you haven't already, then sign up on the Patreon because you will get access to our new and exclusive for a month of early access show, Sidearm, where we release an extra episode every week, sometimes two, if we have an emergency.
Yeah, you never
pod.
know.
We'll
If I can't shut up,
if we have urgent
is
stuff, we'll
typical.
release it. But Sidearm is a patron exclusive for a month for the patrons.
yeah, you get to hear it before any of those plebes out there, and then you can come into our Discord, into the secret channel, and we can all talk about it and look at secret stuff, and nobody else can see it. And even when it releases to the rest of the whole wide world, they still can't look at the secret channel because they are not in the club.
So come join us
Sorry
there.
about it.
It's good fun.
Early access, secret chat, probably won't get eaten.
Yeah. There you go.
Probably.
You move up the list. Apart from Shima.
we're really-
Shima's holding the
we're-
back end.
Shima, if you want to help Shima, probably you should sub. So sub the Patreon.
Excellent. All right. See you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Bye. Y'all come back now. You hear? I think
That was fun.
I think we got
Yeah,
it.
that was good.
Cool.
Tune in next time for another edge of your seat adventure in space with the Backwater Bastards.
If you enjoy listening, but also have eyes, check out our Instagram, where we post drawings, illustrations, character art from our adventures. Backwater_Bastards. Check out our Instagram on Instagram.